So my name is Kenny Sykes. I'm a chartered architect. So architecture, it's the consideration of space. I think architecture allows people to really experience the will and the ideas of somebody or a team of people and actually have that become reality. I was always fascinated by buildings from a very young age. I remember we used to go on these fantastic trips into central London when my dad would drive in, and I'd just be looking up at these really amazing buildings. But there was one building that really perk my interest, so much, and that was the Lloyd's building. And I remember just being fascinated by it. I've been privileged to work with some fantastic architects on some brilliant projects. But what I brought to that was my own perspective, the perspective of someone who's from Ghanaian parents, who lives and lived in South London, and a certain design philosophy that is slightly different to the norm, let's say. But that perspective is what makes for good design, is that you understand that you're coming from a wider view on things, and that perspective is valuable. And through the experience of those projects and those successes, I've been able to take that and build on it for my own company, Kenny Sykes Architects. The idea with Kenny Sykes Architects is that we offer creative design solutions that come from a place of experience and a place of knowing. So the space we're sitting in now is a coffee shop and a workspace called Coffee Shutter and Nexus. It's a project which I've designed. The brief was to create an interesting space, a space for creatives and a coffee shop. And so what the challenge was to try to orientate a cafe and a workspace around first this core area where you enter, and then have a transition between the public space and the private working space. I've been an architect for 15 years, and the challenges you face in architecture is knowing that things can change out of your control. But what you can control, I think you should attempt to control it the best way you can. And I think that's why architects are important, because we do care. We care about the building from the start to the finish. It's a fantastic, rewarding profession. I think it's something that we don't have enough diverse students, but also moving into the profession and continuing into the profession, I don't think that diversity is there. One thing I've kept on saying is that different perspectives and different viewpoints aid design. They don't take away from it, they enhance it. I think companies like Kenny Sykes Architects are a start and offers an alternative for students of any background, but particularly ethnic minority backgrounds, and shows them an example of a different type of architecture practice. And so that's my commitment with Kenny Sykes Architects, is to continue to be an example.